Hello, boys and girls. AEW Freak 1127 here. Yes, I am much better. Let's just get right down to business here. And I will show you a few tabs from my web browser here. And this video is about Dr. John Campbell, somebody who I used to see as trustworthy and reliable and above the din of misinformation and pseudoscience and bullcrap. There are just no heroes anymore, ladies and gentlemen. YouTuber misinterprets COVID-19 vaccine evidence on children from Singapore. What was claimed, more children suffered a severe reaction to the COVID-19 vaccine than required oxygen therapy for COVID-19. This is not correct because it is based on data for adverse events that may not have been caused by the vaccine. It also makes a false comparison for several other reasons. This link and all of the other links I go through in this video will be in the description below, so you can draw your own conclusions, do your own research, the way that you, as an intelligent, presumably intelligent human being, the way that you should be operating already. But unfortunately, the fact that John Campbell has 2.5 million subscribers is kind of all the proof I need to know that it's a very tall order to ask people to just do their own fucking research and stop using people as their anyway. There's this channel called Back to the Science that I quite enjoy, or I have been enjoying lately. And it opened my eyes to the bullshit that he's spreading about the transmission research of the COVID vaccines. He can't seem to figure out, and he even uses the word scandalous. It's scandalous that that these experts they weren't testing the Pfizer vaccine based on how it prevented the transmission of COVID. They were testing it based on how severe the disease will be for a person with the vaccine versus without. Because, as Dr. John Campbell here, a medical science professional, just seemed to have forgotten someday, is that not every major vaccine that rolls out is tested for how it prevents transmission. It's much more important to see how it prevents severe disease. And that's what has been said from health experts the world over when it comes to all of the COVID vaccines, that they're trying to prevent severe disease. So for him to call that scandalous, I think is rabble-rousing, and he's playing to the base that he knows is probably the biggest for his videos, and that is, of course, fucking anti-vaxxers. Go look at the comment sections of some of his videos, and you'll just see people people coming to this guy and saying stuff like, well, you know, I got the vaccine and I had an adverse reaction, so this must mean that it's not worth the risk for anybody. Or I got the vaccine and I still got sick. This must mean the vaccine is no good at all. It's the black and white moronic thinking of anti-vaxxers that prevails. And again, 2.5+ million subscribers. They couldn't be wrong, right? And then, of course, we've got this stuff about Ivermectin. Ivermectin. He refuses to just straight up come out and say regarding Ivermectin as a treatment for COVID, no, I was wrong. I was wrong to be so willing to push this before any major health organization goes, because he wants to be seen as, you know, I think this great thinker, this great anti-authority figure, which is fine, which is a-okay, but if it comes at the expense of rationality, it's not fine. You're just being every other misinformation peddling nutsack on the internet like Jordan Peterson. A man who proved very conclusively that even if you've got a doctorate, you could still be 100% completely full of shit. there's a reason why I'm making this video, and beyond just to say how full of shit I think this guy is. I think that people need, especially in today's world where misinformation is a multi-million, billion-dollar industry, bullshit has always been a multi-billion-dollar industry on this planet amongst humans. You need to set criteria for yourself when it comes to what you will believe and what you won't believe, what you will see as the truth and what you will see as just horseshit or lies or misinformation. You absolutely have to be critical of the things that you see. And John Campbell is one of these people who will tell you that from his own mouth. But whenever somebody is critical of the work that he does and calls him out, I don't see him, but he'll post a clarification and then bemoan that it's taken 16 months for health organizations to release their findings for drug trials for the efficacy of ivermectin on COVID-19. Once again, being a medical science professional and wondering why it's taking so long for science to take its course. You know why? Because he wants them to hurry up, because he is so confident they're going to be right, or that he's going to be right about ivermectin, and he just wants to get out there as quickly as possible and say, ha, look, I beat the experts. I'm the expert right here, while coming to you with the guise of humility and gravitas, the kind of stuff that people know Dr. John Campbell for. If you're going to listen to anybody when it comes to vaccines against a virus in general, this guy here. His name is Biotech and Bioinformatics with Professor Greg. He is Greg Tucker Kellogg, a biology professor with a PhD in molecular biophysics and biochemistry from Yale, postdoctoral training in biological chemistry and molecular pharmacology from Harvard Med, and 30 years of research experience. I don't want to diminish the work of John Campbell, Dr. John Campbell. I don't want to diminish the work he did to get his doctorate and all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to plainly getting the facts about a virus, about some sort of biological issue, or anything biological for that matter, a guy with a PhD in molecular biophysics, biochemistry. Yeah, again, we're talking about medications and pharmacologies and stuff like that, like ivermectin, versus a dude who has a PhD in nursing. I think I'm probably going to listen a little bit closer to the guy who's got the PhD in molecular biophysics and biological chemistry, simply due to the fact that this person is an expert on the way these things work. And you will see that in videos that he makes, such as these. I would highly recommend watching this video. It is a long watch, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons why this guy is not nearly as popular as people like John Campbell, because there's a lot of science talk, a lot of really big science talk that even I, of course, like, but you'll find, even if you don't understand something somebody is telling you, if you do your own research, and that research shows that what they're saying is true, how can you go wrong? But that takes effort. That takes effort. So why not just go and listen to this guy instead? Still talk about ivermectin. And oh, by the way, why is it taking 16 months to publish the results? Impatience in science is just no. And there's all the stuff he's been full of shit about. When he railed against governments for producing the wrong numbers of deaths, and then it was found, oh, oops, he's wrong about that, but he never ate shit for it. If you're not willing to eat shit when you're wrong, why are you dedicating your life to spreading information? Honest information. It boggles my fucking mind, but then again, it doesn't, because this is the way of the modern world. Bullshit tends to win out in the end. And like I said, just go and look at the comment sections of some of these videos. You have all sorts of really dim people with really black and white thinking about vaccines, who think that vaccines are these things that absolutely stop and prevent in their tracks all of these viruses that we've been inoculated against. And that's just not the case. It reduces the symptoms. It mitigates how badly it's going to fuck you up versus not getting the vaccine. And you've got all these people saying it's worth taking the chance with getting COVID. It's worth taking the chance with whatever fucking variant you're infected with this month. It's worth taking the chance with all of the other things versus, you know, getting poked in the arm because this guy on YouTube had an adverse reaction. Oh dear God. Do your own research. It's not very hard, especially with the advent of the internet and all of the tools you have at your disposal. Hey, if you're the type of person that just takes the kind of shit that people say, especially experts, or would-be experts on the internet, come to me. I'll help you find. We'll research together. We can both learn. If I'm not, you know, I'm just throwing that idea out there. I can help you if this is something you're not used to doing. If you've been used to all your life just eating up the horse shit that has been served to you on a fake silver platter. We don't need any more dupes in this world, and we sure as fuck don't need any more false prophets. We need help. We need real answers. We need solutions. We need science to win over bullshit if we are going to triumph over things, not just COVID, but other existential crises like climate change, which may be subject for a future video when it comes to misinformation, because there's lots of that out there. But for now, I'm just talking about John Campbell, and he's shown humility. I will say this: he has shown humility where some people wouldn't have on things like depression. He made a video, this long mea culpa, about how he has been complicit in spreading the idea that it's serotonin, even though he didn't even have to make that fucking video because it wasn't really any doctor's fault, because it was widely accepted for the longest time that a lack of serotonin was attributed to depression. He wasn't the only doctor that was wrong, but he was out there saying, oh, please forgive me. But he said nothing about bullshitting you about ivermectin, nothing about bullshitting you about the numbers of deaths. He said nothing about bullshitting you about any of the bullshit that he spread. But he'll come out and say that he's sorry about something that pretty much every single person on this planet was wrong about. To give this illusion that he is very humble and, that he's willing to be taken to task for being wrong and to pay for it. But it doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem so. And, yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. Do your own research. I'll help you. Or I'll help you find the help, because you can be apolitical and you can say you don't care about this shit as much as you want, but this is the rest of our lives, folks. We face a lot of threats, and going into these threats blind or with faulty information, that's how you die. So keep it in mind, and have a good day, folks.